Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. All right, very quickly, before we talk Deontay Wilder versus Simon Jordan, I have set up a Facebook page, which is basically a one-stop shop for everything I do. So everything Ade Oladipo is on this Facebook page. The Facebook page is called Ade Oladipo. So all the videos, the shorts, everything I do on TikTok, everything I do on Twitter, or X as you guys call it now, everything will be there. The link to said Facebook page is below. Please give it a follow. It will help a lot. And yeah, I'm trying to chuck as much content on that Facebook page as possible. All right, let's talk about the main talking point for what has been, the last 24 hours or so. And that is Deontay Wilder versus Simon Jordan. Obviously, the Bronze Bomber is here promoting his fight against Derek Chisora. We'll get to that on a separate video. I did do a face-off between the two. I sat down with Chisora. I sat down with Wilder. Again, on a separate video, we'll talk about all of that. I do want to focus on what happened in the Talksport studios. That show, Talk Boxing, which is obviously hosted by Simon Jordan, Spencer Oliver is there as well. I think it's almost become the go-to show. Honestly, I think Simon will say what he wants. He'll ask the right questions. A lot of you guys like that. Simon has no fear of a boxer saying, I'm never going to sit down with you again. He doesn't care. Talksport will never, ever say to Simon Jordan, you're not doing the interviews. So Simon's almost got this free reign of being exactly what people want. A guy that isn't a shill to anybody. And I've worked with Simon a few times. I filled in for Jim White on that show, 10 to 1. And he's a great guy. Honestly, I had a weird thought about what he was before I started working with him. Before I started working with him, I thought he was a horrible person. He's the complete opposite of that. He's given me financial advice. He sat me down, told me how I can improve this, improve that. So look, Simon's a great guy. I just want to get that out there before we start. So yeah, that show is a very good show. Everyone seems to pop up on that show and the right questions are asked and fighters and promoters and managers are put under pressure on that show. That interview was going swimmingly. It was almost at the time a perfect interview. Chisora was being asked questions. Deontay Wilder was being asked questions. Spencer Oliver was getting involved. And Simon Jordan was starting to dig a little bit, right? He was starting to kind of, press the buttons on both of them. Why are you still fighting? Why do you need this guy? All the questions, again, that we like to be asked. And then he he dropped the bomb, right? He said Tyson Fury. And as soon as he said Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder got angry for a couple of reasons. The first one was when Simon Jordan said, I want to ask you about Tyson Fury. And Deontay Wilder said, we're not speaking about Tyson Fury. And Simon Jordan said, yes, we are. That pissed off Deontay Wilder. It's almost as though no, I said I'm not speaking about him and you're telling me I am? So who the fuck are you? That's what I read from Deontay Wilder's face. I said I'm not speaking about him and you're insisting we are? No, we're not. And then Simon did well. I think most people then, and I'm trying to put myself in that position, I probably would have asked one more and then I might have stopped. Most people then would have just stopped. We're not speaking about, okay, cool, let's move on, right? We're not, you can see Deontay Wilder's body language has changed, his face has changed. And I think most journalists, broadcasters, reporters, whatever sort of umbrella you want to fall under, would have kind of said, okay, enough's enough. Simon Jordan isn't that guy. He will push the question and he'll ask it another way. He'll go another route. That's a very good journalist. He'll go another route. And he did. And I'm happy he went there because all of a sudden we saw a Bronze Bomber that still has so much scar tissue from that Tyson Fury trilogy, from that time, right? Tyson Fury and him were grouped together for 3 or 4 years. And I think he's built up a lot of scar tissue just about that experience. Maybe because he never suffered defeat and he suffered defeat, I think 3 times to Tyson Fury. He's obviously thinking there's something that Tyson Fury did in the third fight and the second fight, the gloves, whatever, the spiking of water. Maybe there's a PD accusation. I don't know, but he is still carrying around that burden, that anger. And what I will say about Deontay Wilder, I think when he got up, and I watched it a few times, but because he's screaming and shouting, it's kind of hard to pick up what he's saying. But I think when he got up, he said, it will all come out. And I'm thinking, if it's all going to come out, when? Like, dude, the last Fury Wilder fight believe was 2021. I think October 2021 or thereabouts. What I'm getting at is it was 4.5 years ago. Like when? Like if you believe that Tyson Fury has done an injustice, when does this evidence or proof land? Because look, I'm about to say I'm not the biggest Fury fan. I am. I'm actually a big Fury fan, but you guys know I'm more a fan of his boxing than some of his antics. But I'm a big Fury fan. But if he's done wrong, let's show us what wrong he's done. I just believe that, and this is my thoughts on it, I believe that Deontay Wilder, who, let's be honest, every time he's landed that right hand, people have gone down and never got up again. And I almost feel like he's in this disbelief that Tyson Fury could have beaten him. I think there's a disbelief there. I remember the first fight where obviously Tyson Fury had beaten, is it Pianetta and Sefa Safiri? Like Wilder was laughing in his face, like, I'm going to destroy you. I think everyone backed Wilder to destroy Tyson Fury. And in the end, Tyson Fury climbed off the canvas and I think beat Deontay Wilder. And I think Wilder's in a bit of disbelief from that. Then in the second fight, it was like, oh my God, okay, I've just been beaten and stopped. There's a disbelief there. I think Wilder always felt like he could never lose. And he certainly felt that if I crack you properly, you're never getting up. And he saw Fury rise up 4 times in their fights, 4 or 5 times. And I think there's almost like, that's impossible. You must be cheating. And I think it's as simple as that. I really do. I think sometimes we can make more of it than it is. There are Wilder fans who will show you this picture of a flopped glove. And look, I guess there does need to be a conversation about that. But Fury's a few things, but I don't think Fury's cheating in the ring. Again, look, if there is evidence, let's see it. And look, this will end all the debate. This will end all the people that are saying Wilder's going crazy, Wilder's going mad. If there is evidence and it's concrete, let's see it. And then we can all apologize to Wilder and say, Jesus Christ, like, oh my God, this really did happen. But for now, it almost does feel like, I don't know, just spilt milk, spoiled milk. What's the phrase? It just feels like that, doesn't it? Like you're angry about something because you suffered defeat. I don't know. There seems to be a real anger towards Tyson Fury, a real anger. But look, we'll see. Because again, Wilder did say, and I have to watch it back again, but I'm sure Wilder said, I'll show you, or we'll see, or there's a documentary coming out, or something. I just think he tried his absolute best. Fury was incredible on all 3 times they fought, and Fury beat him. Fair and square. I think it was a fair and square thing. It wasn't the costume which hindered the weight of his legs. It wasn't his trainer who got it wrong by stopping the fight. It wasn't the floppy gloves. It wasn't this. It wasn't that. It was just a case of Fury on that night was better than Wilder on that night. And I think fighters are delirious when it comes to losing. Fury, I've seen twice now, lose to Alexander Usyk. He thinks he beat Usyk fair and square. Like Fury thinks he beat Usyk. He's not saying Usyk cheated. This is a different conversation, but Fury thinks he beat Usyk, and I think in the first loss, it was me that was in the ring, and he said something along the lines of, there's a war in Ukraine, and that's the reason Usyk's been given the victory. Fighters. And I genuinely think that that's what Wilder's doing. He's trying to find an excuse because he never ever thought he could lose, and he lost to the same person 2 times, and it was lucky not to be 3 times. That's my take on it. But I will say this, again, I applaud Simon Jordan for not shivering, not running away from, I'm gonna, this is a big talking point. A few days ago, you said Fury cheated. Simon Jordan would be stupid not to ask the question about Fury cheating. Because Simon Jordan, again, can ask these questions. I think a lot of people say, why does no one else ask these questions? Well, because if you do push those kind of narratives, and trust me, guys, I'm the one that asks a lot of these questions, you won't get interviews with these people anymore. They will refuse to interview. They will refuse. And that causes a lot of problems for the broadcaster. That ain't happening with Simon Jordan. It simply hasn't happened. Like, Simon Jordan is fucking just powerful beyond belief right now. And that's why he's confident of doing that type of questioning. There's not many that will. And there's a reason there's not many that will. But yeah, it was interesting to see. You know what I didn't like? It turned ugly when I think Wilder mentioned stuff about racism. And I was like, let's just stick to Fury cheated and let's run that narrative. When it kind of started to get cloudy and start to talk about, you know, in this country, like I kind of feel like he went down an alley he shouldn't have gone down. And maybe that's why people are not liking what he said. But again, I wait to see if there is evidence. If there is, then, I mean, questions need to be answered. What did you guys make of it? I did speak to Chisora about it yesterday. I didn't speak to Wilder about it because I didn't know it happened. So after that, Wilder came and sat with me. I hadn't known anything about it. I was locked away, prepping for my interview, didn't know anything about it. Then after, everyone's like, did you see the Talksport interview? I was like, what Talksport interview? So that's a shame I didn't get to know about it before, because I would have probably asked Wilder, maybe off camera, about it. But yeah, it was an interesting 30-minute conversation which took a turn in the last 5 or 6 minutes. You know what? Fury Wilder again would be wild, wouldn't it? And don't get me wrong, look, and people might say, why? Like, you know, we've seen it already. We've seen Fury Usyk, and Fury's still calling for Usyk, and Usyk's beaten Fury twice. Like, I don't think that anger that Wilder showed there, if he was to bring that to a fight, Wilder could be back. Wilder could still have something. Like, Fury seems to create the bronze bomber, whereas no other fighter can. No other fighter brings that bronze bomber out apart from Tyson Fury. Like, they could get it on again and it could still be a mad fight. Honestly, it still could go left. Imagine Fury just fucking turned up. Anyway, it is what it is. Guys, girls, don't forget, please, Ade Oladipo Facebook page is up. I would really appreciate it if you follow it. It means a lot. We will chuck a lot of content. I've got a guy called Leon that's doing such a good job of clipping content, creating content, just basically providing you with as much Ade Oladipo as you guys need, which is a lot, I've been told. Anyway, peace and love.